Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for choosing Across the Fence. I'm Mikell. Today I'm in the seat that's normally occupied by our friend Judy Simpson, and today she's occupying a different seat. She's sitting across the table from me, and that's because today Judy is the guest of honor. Judy, you and your husband are moving, and after 15 years and close to 4,000 Across the Fence episodes, you're stepping down now as the host of Across the Fence. I've tried to change your mind. It isn't going to work, but would you please share with viewers what you and your family are up to?
Well, sure. We are moving to Fort Myers, Florida, because my husband was offered a great new job with the broadcasting team down there. He's going to be selling advertising for television, which he does here at Channel 3 now and has been for the past 8 years. And so we thought it was an extraordinary opportunity. We'll be a lot closer to our children. My son is an engineer at a sound studio in Nashville, and my daughter's a social worker in Pensacola, so we'll be a lot closer to them.
And so, not surprising, this is a family decision.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I want to point out to our viewers that while you were leaving, we have recorded some programs in advance, and we're going to have a few Across the Fence classics with Judy. So this isn't the last time that we're going to see you, but today is a celebration and a reflection. And our first video looks at some of the shows that have defined Judy's 15 years as host of Across the Fence.
Your host is Tony Adams.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson, in today for Tony Adams. One of the biggest challenges...
It's not easy replacing a legend, but that's exactly what Judy did when she started on Across the Fence 15 years ago. And over the years, where there was food, there was Judy.
And thanks, of course, to our chefs, and of course, I'll take another one of these.
And you want to give it a try?
Sure, yeah.
All right. It is a reference kit for producers, yep. And it contains the 3 most common natural off flavors in maple syrup.
It almost tastes burnt.
Yep.
And I see somebody coming in because she was trying to get one before we started, but I wouldn't let her. But now she, how do you like it?
Very good.
Good. Okay. Well, you can see there's one missing, but these are.
What was never missing from Judy was her interest in young people.
Today in Across the Fence, we're celebrating the maple season with Vermont's maple ambassadors. A week ago, just a week ago. And what was your reaction?
I was really excited and happy.
So Daniel, how did your semester begin?
Animals were another favorite topic of Judy's. Think wildlife of all kinds.
So how many kinds of ticks are there in Vermont?
We have 13 different types of ticks in Vermont.
So what's the life cycle of the forest tent caterpillar?
Well, right now it's been feeding, and that's why people are very aware of its defoliation.
Tell me a little bit about what we know about the current population of bobcats in Vermont.
Well, they're common and abundant. We have animals, bobcats, pretty much throughout the state.
How do turkeys fare in the winter?
They do pretty well. It depends on the winter severity, of course.
What is the size and health of Vermont's deer herd?
So we estimate we have somewhere around 157,000 deer in the state.
Whether it was wildlife, our working landscape, or any other topic, Judy stood behind the educational mission of Across the Fence.
As a land-grant university, UVM provides research and education that benefit Vermonters. Is one of the challenges that there are all different kinds of soil types on one particular farm?
Yeah, even in one particular field, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Experts at UVM Extension have helped 10 Vermont farms improve the storage conditions and the quality of more than 420 tons of crops with an estimated value of more than $900,000. Now, Dan, what's the role of UVM Extension in helping improve water quality in Lake Champlain?
Well, UVM Extension, as you know, is an educational organization, and we're statewide, but we're able to offer local expertise all over the state of Vermont. And we provide research and education and technical assistance to work directly as sort of boots on the ground.
Well, a new research project at UVM Extension's Center for Sustainable Agriculture is looking at whether Vermont wool can help keep Vermont houses warm. That's right, sheep's wool as insulation.
Judy was often on the road.
And so how has dairy farming in Vermont changed since your parents won this award in 1986?
Yeah, it's changed quite a bit. I mean, there's just a lot fewer farms. The farm sizes in generally have grown quite a bit.
Her visits went beyond dairy farms.
Well, bring on the cider and donuts. It's apple picking time. So, Andrea, tell me about this first dress that we're going to be looking at here.
So this dress was worn by a woman named Martha Wardner Lamson.
Judy's willingness to share her personal experience helped us all understand some of life's most difficult subjects.
I just know from my personal experience when my father was first diagnosed with Alzheimer's, you know, it's interesting. My mother lives out of state, but she lives independently, but now it's hard for her to get around. I just want to say, too, that I really admire you for coming on and being able to talk honestly and openly about this issue, especially when it involves your own son.
Thank you. It's hard, but it's what we have to do. We can't fix it until we address it.
So Josh,
Through all the serious moments, there were, of course, lighter moments, like the flying chicken episode.
What are some of the other things?
Okay then. Nope.
There we go. Come on now. There.
No.
And lastly, we found this exchange in a program with UVM Extension horticulturalist Leonard Perry, which certainly foreshadowed Judy's new destination.
I guess palm trees are sort of the symbol of warm weather.
They are. They're just, you think about Florida and you think about palm trees.
And that's just a snapshot of Judy's work. There were, of course, authors and musicians and medical professionals, and a list that goes on and on. Over 4 decades, Judy has worked with a lot of people on both sides of the camera. Our studio directors like Adam Wright and Ryan Wilson are key members of the Across the Fence team. And one of those directors, Roger Lewis, has been part of the Channel 3 News and Across the Fence for over 30 years.
Well, I've worked with Judy for many years, even before she started hosting Across the Fence. And one of the things I've always admired about Judy is her ability to roll with the punches. That's not something that comes naturally to everybody, but she's always been very adept at it. And in live TV or a live-to-tape show like Across the Fence, that's a really valuable skill to have, and she's always done really well with that. And I'm also really jealous that she's going to sunny Florida because, well, I'm not, and I hope you get a really good tan, Judy.
I've worked with Judy almost since the time I started at UVM Extension going on Across the Fence, and that's been about 15 years. So she's been a pretty big part of my life outside of just seeing her on TV on a daily basis. She's worked with us to report fair stories, highlight all the wonderful things happening in agriculture as well, and has really cared about the farming system in Vermont, and it shows. She's just been really wonderful to work with, so she'll certainly be missed.
Well, this is actually the 3rd time that we've had to say goodbye to Judy at Channel 3. First time, of course, when she stepped down as the longtime anchor of the morning news, and then again when she stopped reporting for us, and now a 3rd time, a final time, as she leaves our airwaves altogether. You know, the thing I would remember and say about Judy is that she's always been a consummate professional. She puts her all into every task and every story that she does. You know, of course, she was always a really trustworthy journalist and one of those reliable hard workers that you love to have on your staff. But probably the thing we cherish the most about Judy is she's just such a great person. Always such a positive influence in the newsroom and especially with the younger staff. Just a kind and friendly person all the time, and with that wry sense of humor that always just made her a favorite around here. So we're really going to miss her.
If you're asking yourself why I'm here with a light stand in front of me, the answer is obvious. I learned it from you. When I started to do more on-camera work, you told me that when you were out in the field and needed to do a stand-up, you would use a light stand to set your focus. It's one of the many things I've learned from you, Judy. So thanks for the advice, and good luck.
I have really enjoyed all the garden shows that Judy has hosted and that I've had the pleasure to work with her on over the years. Being a gardener herself, interested in new plants, garden tips, and gardens to visit, Judy has made our shows easy and conversational. I hope, Judy, that you can take some of this information into your future gardening, as you should now have time for much more. Happy gardening.
Judy was wonderful as a host. As somebody who would come into the studio that isn't maybe very comfortable in front of the cameras or not used to being interviewed, she had a way of just welcoming you and calming you down and helping you through that process. And then with 4-H, being somebody who would talk about our youth development and our volunteers, Judy just had a genuine interest. She connected with the youth that came onto stage. She connected with our volunteers. So it was a wonderful experience, and we'll miss Judy very much. Yeah, wish her well.
Hi, Judy. It's been great sharing the world of birds with Across the Fence viewers with you. We've traveled to the Bahamas, Hawaii, and the Maine coast, as well as spending a considerable amount of time in our own backyard. I've enjoyed sitting across the table from you, discussing birds and sharing viewer mail, as well as getting updates on your bluebirds. Each month has been an easy conversation with someone who is both knowledgeable and interested in our feathered friends. You've been a patient companion during my ramblings and musings, and I wish you good luck on your new adventure, with full knowledge that you will keep an eye on the birds that surround you. Who knows, maybe you will find me knocking on your door in hopes of hearing what you've seen and heard. And remember, if you have any questions and pictures, you can always send them my way. Thanks.
With over 60 episodes of Across the Fence under my belt as the former state equine extension specialist in Vermont, I can tell you Judy Simpson was the ultimate professional. Whether I was bringing colleagues or national or international guests, even undergraduate students, Judy did the best to make them comfortable, to help them tell their best story. Judy, you will be sorely missed, and I wish you the very best.
Judy Simpson has been the host of Across the Fence since well before I got here. So to me, she's always been not only the face, but the heart of Across the Fence. Everywhere I go around the state, people tell me how much they admire and appreciate Judy. And about half of them send their regards because they know her from a story. The one universal is that everyone thinks Judy is the greatest, including me. That's because she's friendly and positive, and she's got a great sense of humor, and she's always the utmost professional, even when that means chasing chickens around the studio. It's been a great adventure working with Judy, and we're really gonna miss her.
Hey, Petey, did you hear Judy Simpson's not gonna be on Across the Fence anymore? Hi, Judy. Just wanted to say hi, and thank you very much for all you've done over the years. It's hard to imagine you not being part of our noontime broadcast across Vermont, New Hampshire, and New York. But thank you for all you've done for Vermont agriculture. Not a critter you probably haven't covered or talked about. We appreciate all the education that you provided to the farm community and beyond. It's been a pleasure. We wish you all the best in your next journey with you and Phil and the kids. We know you'll take your Vermont values to your new destination in Florida, and we look forward to seeing you along the way. Again, many thanks for all you've done for Vermont agriculture. You have a great legacy here.
As we've gotten to know each other over the years, in that prep time when we're waiting for everything to get started, she's asked about how to manage her horses and like how to improve her pastures and how to do a better job at what she's doing. And it just, not only does it feel really neat and cool and special to be able to be part of Across the Fence in general, it's like another little opportunity to do our job and help somebody, you know, do a better job at their own place.
Oh, Judy Simpson, what can I say? I had the pleasure and privilege of working with Judy on the Channel 3 Morning News for 10 years. Working with her closely all those years made it easy to see why she's a broadcasting legend, a Hall of Famer, and really just the best that there is. I hope a little of her talent rubbed off on me during that time. And beyond broadcasting, she's just one of the finest human beings on the planet. I was lucky to be able to work with her and to call her my friend. Vermont's loss will be Florida's gain. She's going to class up that state just by showing up there. Here's the forecast for Judy for Florida: bright and sunny forever. Good luck. We'll miss you a whole lot.
And those are sentiments that we all share. Now, of course, it's not possible in 15 minutes to touch on everything and everyone that's been part of Across the Fence during Judy's 15 years. But it is important to recognize one of her biggest fans. So we've asked her husband, Phil, to be with us this afternoon. Phil, thank you very much for coming in. As I introduce Chuck Ross, the director of UVM Extension, with some comments and a presentation.
Wow. 15 years, 4,000 episodes.
I know.
Judy, that is awesome. Mm-hmm. You've helped all of us in Vermont understand the facts and the science that the university brings to Vermonters to help them understand our state better, know about where we come from, why we do what we do. You've helped build community in this state, and we are all going to miss that every day. So I'm here on behalf of the University of Vermont and UVM Extension to thank you for all you've done, all the information you conveyed, and give you, as a token of our appreciation, this wonderful photo. Not photo, beautiful. Actually watercolor from Deborah Olson from Bristol.
Wow.
And this is to be shared with you, your family, and and as a reminder when you're in Florida of where you come from and how much we've appreciated all you've done for us.
Well, thank you so much. I love it.
Well, we love you. Thank you.
Thanks.
I want to thank Director Ross for being with us. We do have one more special guest with us this afternoon. We're honored to have with us Governor Phil Scott, and he has some final words on behalf of the tens of thousands of Vermonters who see Across the Fence on a weekday basis. Thank you for coming in, Governor.
Well, thank you very much. And Judy, you know, you leave a legacy that can't be replaced. I've run into so many people. I just came from an event where Brian Joyce was there, Governor Jim Douglas, and they couldn't talk enough about how special you are, what a positive person you are, and the respect and civility you've shown others, and how you've inspired so many people that you'll probably never really appreciate just how many people that has become, because you are what Vermont is all about. Respect, civility, leading the way in that way, and telling the stories of Vermont. So Across the Fence, or your time on the air has been spent just telling stories about what makes Vermont so special. And you're what makes Vermont so special.
Well,
it's not
thank you so
about
much.
the people or about the atmosphere, but it's the people. And
Thank you very much. That's really nice to hear.
And Governor, again, thank you very much for coming in. And of course, the last words today belong to our guest of honor, Judy.
Well, I want to thank you all here, of course, and my Channel 3 family, my personal family. It's been absolutely impossible to sum up my career here at Across the Fence and what all of you in Extension and at WCX mean to me. Been able to meet and talk with so many extraordinary people of all ages, and I feel blessed that I could host this program for all of you at home. Thanks to everybody for this wonderful opportunity. Thanks.